Hey guys, good morning. It's Darren from Jace Media, and in the chair this afternoon, all the way from Brisbane, Australia, is vocal powerhouse Mizzy Max from Australian rockers Hit and Mizz.
Hi, how you going?
How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. And how's life treating you just now? How is life in lockdown? Are you out of lockdown at the moment in Australia?
Yeah, no, we're doing okay, which is pretty good. If we get one person that gets COVID, then it gets locked down straight away. So we get pretty protected. But at the moment, we're still allowed to do gigs and stuff like that. We're not allowed to go out of Australia unless you want to be in lockdown for 2 weeks. But yeah, no, we're doing all right. We can gig at the moment, which is great. Except the venues are all booked out for like 3 months because all the bands just booked everything out. So
yeah, I've got a few bands in Australia that I follow and that we promote on the website. Bands like Shotgun Mistress, Ablaze, The Mercy Kills, Ashen Moon, that we are all, we follow and we try and sort of champion as much as we can. And they're saying exactly the same thing, that everything is sort of booked out solid because everybody wants to play.
That's it. We've been hauled off for a long time, so we ain't getting any younger.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not. You're right. It was my son. He lives in Melbourne.
Oh wow, okay.
And he says, that it's weird that when you go into shops and bars and restaurants, when you have no face covering and stuff, we still have to wear face coverings in Glasgow. We still have to keep a 2 meter distance. There's lots of.
Melbourne, they still have to.
Yeah.
Are they not? I think they are.
I'm not sure, but anyway, let's hope we're going to get out of the end of this pandemic and get rocking. As I think everybody, just wants to go to live music.
Yeah, and that as well. Yeah, we definitely need that. And then the ones that aren't coming from overseas, they're cancelling. So everything's moved to 22 anyway. So
yeah.
With the bigger ones.
So what about you? What about you and the guys? What's the story with you guys? Have you been begging, stealing, and borrowing musicians and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did that. That was exactly it. Though I found all my boys. Yeah, I did steal them. A couple of people aren't very happy about it, but I don't mind. And then they're really good, so I had to take them. And that's how we sort of started. I threw them in a band in a room together. I just sort of grabbed the guys off, sort of when they came up the stage, I was like, oh, do you want to try and be in a band? Other one was from a band that I already played in, and then he left that band. So then I was like, if I leave, will you come and play with me? And he's like, yeah, okay. I was like, nice. So I pretty much got them all from that. And then lately we had our main guitarist. He doesn't want to tour, and we're ready to tour. So we've just recently joined on Richard Bayless, and he's our new guitarist. And he's really good. He's going to add more like a new age metal sort of to it, which would be kind of cool. And he's also, he uses a pedal board, but on a big electronic line 6 sort of thing. So that will be really interesting. I can't wait for the electronic to come into it. It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
So but what's the plan for you guys? I know that the EP is just out, so is it doing a bit of promotion with that and then trying to get some gigs on the back of it, or have you got some gigs organised already?
Yeah, we've got our next one in the Gold Coast. I think we're playing along with Black what am I saying? Snakebite Whiskey. Snakebite Whiskey. And I don't know the other band yet. I think they're still grabbing another band. I don't know if it's been organised, but we've just signed up with Black Ruse Management. Yeah. So they're organising. I've just asked them to organise the tour now that we've got the guitarist signed on. So good. So they're organising that at the moment for the rest of the year, and then hopefully overseas next year. And we're going to start, or we sort of have started working on the album coming out. I don't know when yet, but
yeah. And how is it coming? How many songs do you have for the album at the moment?
We've got the songs. We just haven't recorded them yet. We've done 6. We just got to do 6 more after that. So, but it's definitely sounding cool. It's got a couple of different mixes of genres in there. So sure. I'm pretty excited.
No, I think your EP is a little gem. You've got a cracking set of pipes on you. And I guess sometimes that's the catalyst. I think when you're starting an album, that if you've got like a focal point, you've got the vocals, and then you add the ingredients of the drums and the bass and the guitar. And I think you have to get that right, you know, and I think it comes across really well. You know, the boys at Black Rose sent it to me a couple of weeks ago and said, you know, do you have a listen to it and let's see what we can do. Our website gets about 150,000 views a month.
Wow.
And I think your EP is up about 600 views, I think, at the moment.
Cool, so, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you know, I think we like to, when we get acts on, we like to tell them how well it's been received, because what we do is we send when we do the video and stuff like that, we do the review, it goes to Australia, it goes to America, it goes to Europe.
Wow.
You know, so lots of people will pick it up and maybe get interested in it, you know, so it's a nice way to get you guys a wee bit more exposure, you know, with a video and stuff. You know, it must be hard. I mean, obviously, I think you're the same as myself. I work full time. I'm going to work in about 45 minutes, and I won't be home tonight till 7 o'clock. You know, so it's a long old day, and then you come back at night time. You've got a review or interview, and it is in the world, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
So it must be the same for you.
Yeah, no, you got to band practice after work, or you got to do something, or like as I sort of lead the band, I have to organize more stuff and try and, you know, keep following up with things, and it's just one thing after the next. And I have a new idea, and I'm like, we got to try this. And they're messaging all the boys, and they're just like, just stop for a second, just calm down. And I'm like, yeah, but all these things, I just had this thought. Now we got to do this. And it's like, we're settling. Can we just settle? I'm like, nah. I have to keep going.
I think what you have to do, I think when you have an idea, Mizz, you want to roll with it. And I think when you roll with it, I think the boys have to come with you, you know. And I think if you lose the momentum, kind of idea goes, and it's like, oh, it's like what I've got. And I think it's good that, you know, that if you're obviously you're a little fireball, you know, so you always want to get on the move, which is good.
Yeah, I panic that I'm being too much on them, because I don't know, I just get so excited. So I just want to keep doing things, but it's kind of hard, especially during COVID, and they have to work and I have to work, but I still just gotta find things. Because I also super enjoy it.
I think it's good that you're still able to do rehearsals and bits of gigging through the COVID.
No, I just like I love being in charge. Like I do love being in control of like looking after. Not that I'm a total biatch or anything like that, but I do like knowing exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going. And I just like being able to tell the boys, okay, here, this is the plan. See, they're coming. You just be there. Just be there, okay? Like just show up here at this place at this time and just be there. And of course, if they have anything they want to do, we definitely look into that. I'm like, okay, cool. So
yeah, I think it's obviously good to have a woman in charge.
Yeah.
Hey, you know. So,
I didn't know that was
what's that chair?
Yeah. I don't know. Oops. What's on this box?
That would have been fun in the interview, falling over on the chair.
I usually fall on my face. Always covered in bruises and stuff.
Let's not do that this morning.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for Hitting Mizz? What's the vision?
Obviously, like everyone else, you know, you wanna be on stage in front of a lot of people. You want to be able to be that band that everyone listens to, kind of thing. Like, you know, like when you're in high school and you put on your favorite band because you're always going through so much emotion then, and you know, be that sort of support. That's sort of what I want to be able to do for like a lot of people. I know that sounds like really shitty and stuff, but that's actually like what I really like about it.
No, I don't think it's that at all. I think it's good that you've got a dream that you want to be up there on stage. You know, you want to be up there. And I think what's good for me is that when I interview lots of bands and I say to them, what does it feel like? And they say, when you look out from the stage to see the faces and see, you know, the expressions and the emotions when you're singing their favourite song or a song that's close to them, you know, I think that's that.
No, we're only just starting. Obviously just getting the EP out, and even in Brisbane, it's a pretty big deal for me. Like when I was at the last show, we're starting to get a bit of a build up. There's more people that see us and whatnot. There's a song on the EP called Insane, and it's like super girly. it's not really rock. It's more like new age sort of. What do you call it? I don't know. I don't know. It's different. It's sort of like the sad song on it, and then the chicks are on the stage, and I didn't think it's too sad to and too sloppy to play it. The gig, so it's like, rock and roll gig, don't play that song kind of thing. But it was the last one. I was like, okay, we kind of ran out of songs, but we're gonna do Insane. And these chicks that I didn't know all just ran up to the stage and like, yeah, Insane, we're gonna do Insane. And I'm like, oh, I melted. I didn't know them either, and I thought that was just amazing. And I was like, we got the girl one down.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have a little ballad, a rock ballad in there as well, because I think it shows the diversity of the band. If you have 6 hard rocking songs, people go, yeah, it's like kind of samey. But if you have a little mix in there with a little rock ballad, that the chicks can dig, then I think that opens up your audience as well.
Yeah, because especially Man World, I'd love to be able to get the women more into it. I know there's a lot of women rock chicks, but to bring the two worlds together of like new age pop and then do like a kind of pop, kind of rock, and be like, hey, let's listen to this. This should go on main radio, but it also, and this stuff wouldn't be able to go on main radio because it's like too dirty or something. But bring them together, you get both, and then you get sad, dirty music. I don't know. Well, at least
we like a bit of sad, dirty music. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of stuff like that sells, and I think
although possibly those together that could bring people.
Yeah, I think if I think you've got your heart on your sleeve, and it's a bit personal to you, and you put it out there. I think a lot of people resonate with it, and they go, "Yeah, I really like that song because it's got like a ballad, it's got a line in it, it's got a bit of lyric, it's got it's got a cool bit of bass.
It's just so cute,
and people just like it, and I think that's really cool. That's I think it's a good mix. It's a really good mix that you've put together. And I think that if this is what you've got on an EP, if you've got 12 good songs on an album.
I'm gonna try.
So who does most of the writing? Who does most of the writing? Who does most of the writing? Yourself.
Yours truly.
So you're like the total package. You want to be the front woman, you want to be the main lyricist, you want to hold the band together. Is that women? Is that women power? Is it? Yeah.
I do that. I've been writing for a while, but one time I couldn't make band practice, and one of the new songs, it's called 3, which is going to be on the album, and it's like one of my favorites. The boys wrote the music to it, and I walked in, and they said like, "Oh, we've got something to show you, Mizz," and I'm like, "What?" And it's like, they're like, "Listen to this," and it's so bassy. It's just pretty much bass and drums at the moment. The guitarists are sort of working their way in because now we've got 2 guitarists, so I'm not going to be playing guitar when we're on tour. When I only went on tour and not in Brisbane gigs. And it's just so bouncy. It's like dim wow. It's kind of early 90s, but it's just so fun. And I can't wait to be able to play that one or like sing that one and stuff. That's the boys. They drove that.
So the introduction of the second guitarist, is that so that you can concentrate more on just being the vocal powerhouse? Or is it just something you want to take yourself away from?
Well, I don't mind either way. I do like playing the guitar, but I'm not actually that great. I mostly use a pedal board. I don't really know stuff. I know how to do some stuff, but I don't know how to do really anything. So it's better if they do, because I like jumping around and like doing all like the emotional stuff, be like, yeah, and that gives me the chance to do that, which means I can concentrate more on my outfit and my hair than having to get all my gear ready, which means I can have more drinks. I'm not carrying gear.
Yeah, the image is important, Lizzie. Image is important. You have to get that right. You have to get yourself the focal point. Yeah.
I can concentrate more on the writing and whatever. So that saves that if I don't have to learn all the guitar parts. And if they start writing together, like the album, and I'm not going to be able to play it all on the album because there's no way I'm going to be able to play what they play. They are both brilliant guitarists, and they can do all like, and I'm just, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
So I think sometimes it's one of those things where you kind of know where you are, what you're good at, and I think if you're good at the vocals and that's your strong point, then stick to that, and get the guys to get them to bring the noise where you bring the lyrics and the magic, and they bring the noise. You know what I mean? And I think that's important as well.
I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with that. I'm so curious. I can't, because we haven't really, because he only just joined last week. So we haven't actually had a full time together with both guitarists and everyone in the room and then starting to write. I have no idea what this is going to sound like, but I'm very curious. I think it's going to be awesome. I reckon it's going to be okay.
But I think that's possibly some of the good parts, you know, that if you've got a new guitarist and you don't really know, you know, what he's going to sound like when you put the four of you together. I think that's always a nice surprise, that when you get together and it just flows, then you know you've made the right choice and you've got the right guy for the job.
Yeah, that's it. No, he was really sweet. Like when he messaged me on Facebook and he was like, "Oh, I'm thinking I could join the band if you like. Well, I would like to try out or whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And then my bass player was running late, and I'm like, "Look, I don't know if he's the one that's got the key, and we haven't heard from him, so we're not going to be able to get in the band room." And then he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'll come along anyway, just because it's really important that the personalities don't like clash. So I'd like to come and meet you and the drummer and whoever's there at the moment to see how our personalities work with each other." And I'm like, "You're in the band. I don't even care what you sound like now." Like, that was already just so sweet. I was like, this is gonna work, because they're all super kind people. There's not a bad bone in any of their bodies. They're just like the most kindest boys. Like, you'd think they'd be rough and tough, but they're just not. They're just so sweet. They're childish. The drummer's childish. The bass player, he is just cool. He's like, that's like chilled out. The new guy, I yet to meet his personality, but so far I know he's quite cheeky. He does like sly comments. He just like, "I want to hurt you."
Yeah.
But he's really sweet. And he's super kind as well. And Mish is really intelligent, and he's quiet, but he is also super kind. Like, he won't hurt anyone. And he also just like brought me biscuits once for some reason, because I said I was hungry at the gig before. So then he brought biscuits to the rehearsal, because he said, "What, you said you were hungry last time, so I thought I'd bring." I'm like, just so nice.
Yeah.
So we all get along really well, and it's pretty fun all the time. Like, they're just sweet.
I think that's great. I think that's great. I think that if you have that connection, you know, I think that's already a win-win for the band, because if he's got a nice personality and he can shred some chords, then I think that you've got a winning combination.
I reckon so too. They're just great, and they love dressing up, and I love dressing up. So I make them dress up. I'm like, "Just dress in whatever you want, except dress in this style." It's like, "Well, that's not whatever I want, Mizz." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is. Just do what I say."
Yeah, it's what you want, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, they'll do it. They'll do it for me. And then the cutest part is, like, if we are doing a photo shoot or something, and I'm like, "This is the style we're going for. Can we all, like, you know, dress like rock or something like that?" They all come in like totally different styles and totally different like looks of rock, and I'm like, this is perfect. We just look like a mash of I don't know what. So then we're just sort of like complete misfits, but we tried.
Listen, it doesn't matter. If it comes together, that's all that matters, you know. And I think that the fact that you're possibly a little bit different,
yeah,
it gets attention as well.
Dress up party. It's like,
you know, I think that gets attention as well, and I think it's good that people look at you and they think that they look different, but they sound great.
Yeah, you know? I love it. Yeah, and then we're gonna jump around and make a lot of noise and be like, "We're serious, but we're not that serious." Like,
yeah,
we love that.
For delinquents, it doesn't matter. So when is your next gig? When are you gigging next? What's the plan?
That's 19th of June. At the Gold Coast at Vinnie's Bar. I'm not sure what time yet, but that's the next one. And then after that, I'm not quite sure yet. Black Ruse is still working it out for us, because I got a plan. I want to tour after that, because I've done with Brisbane. Like, I'm not done with Brisbane, but I've been in there and done so many gigs there. I want to go back to Melbourne. I want to try Sydney. I want to go to Adelaide. I want to go maybe even New Zealand before we go overseas. Not quite sure which country first yet. It's going to depend on where the EP does the best, or where we get the most attention from, or something like that. I'm assuming. I don't know how that works. That's why I've got them doing it.
Listen, I think they'll put the EP out, and I think they'll distribute it kind of worldwide, and then you'll get a lot of attention probably in Europe. You get a lot of attention in Britain. So you know, I think that'll be your kind of target audience. But you know, because a lot of Australian bands do really well over in Britain. They seem to have, they've got something, you know, when they come, they're a little bit different, a little bit quirky, and British audiences like that, you know, they like a bit of difference.
Yeah, because you guys definitely have that as a main genre that you like over that. You hold the like the HRH rock events and stuff like that I've been looking into, and there's so many bands that come from overseas, and you got the ones that come from America to go there for this huge event.
Yeah.
But you guys can hold that event because the people will go. Like you've got the people that love this genre, or always have, and then they go there. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Hard Rock Hell in Ibiza a couple of times. I've been down to where they used to have the HRH in Wales. I've been down there a couple of times, you know, and it's always sold out. It's always busy, you know. It's always packed. What they do is they take over what you would call like a caravan park, holiday park, and there's probably
and then just go there.
Yeah, and there's probably 600 caravans with 4 people in it, basically from the Thursday night to the Sunday, and you could have. They've had Airborne over there a couple of times. They've had Saxon, they've had Michael Monroe. You know, they've had lots of local British bands, and it's always packed out. You know, and there's such a diverse range of music. And a little band of mine that I used to like, a little Australian band called Tracer.
I should know that.
Three young boys. I don't know if they're still going, but they were sort of big maybe 5 years ago, toured Britain ever such a lot and gathered a lot of attention. But I don't know what's happened to them. You know, I spoke to them quite a lot and kind of messaged them all the time, but I don't know if they're still kicking about. But they really enjoyed the HRH experience. They just really loved going to Britain and just getting treated like people are going, wow, these guys are fantastic. 3 young boys, you know, and they just love to rock out. But I don't know what they're doing now. You know, who knows? But the British audience love the Australian bands. So I'm sure that when you get to our shows, and hopefully you'll come to Glasgow.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would love to go anywhere. I think I've only traveled to LA, but that wasn't for the band stuff. But I definitely just want to go overseas with the band and go through the whole experience. It's like something I really want to do, and I can't see why not, other than COVID stopping it. But it is a dream of mine to go overseas, and I have to listen to all my friends going, and their bands are doing stuff, and then they're like, "Well, we're going overseas now to tour," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll just stay home then." I'm like, "I want to turn. I want to go."
Yeah, you want to
see the boys, and I want to go through that whole, you know, sleeping in the wrong bed or falling asleep on the floor, and you know, throwing up some issue, all of that. And so playing on stage, of course.
So your adoring fans, Mizzy, that's what you want.
Yeah. I want to. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do it all, but that's great. That's great. Now listen, I don't want to hold you back. I know you're at work. You might get into trouble for being away too long. But it's been a great pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, the EP's doing really well. I'll keep you informed as to how many hits, because it'll stay on the site for 2-3 months. And what you get a lot of is you get a lot of Europeans who are maybe a little bit late coming to the party, and then they pick it up, you know, and somebody else might pick it up. So I'll keep you informed and let us know what you're doing next. Keep in chat. I know the boys at Black Rouge quite well, so I'm sure they'll keep us informed about anything you've got going on.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. This is Darren from Jace Media with a vocal powerhouse, Mizzy Max from Hit and Miss, all the way in Brisbane. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Cool.